Our last
Okay.
show of the year. I'm a little choked up.
I'm not. I'm really happy about it. In fact, um, before we got on here, I just celebrated by throwing out all of my 80s stuff because this is the last show we're ever doing, right? That's what we said,
Yeah,
right?
surprise.
Right? That would be that'd be really awkward. Um, like when like when you at the end of the year, like in a lot of 80s movies, kids would just like throw their books out. It'd be like last day of school, they just throw the books out. And you'd be like, well, you're going to get charged for that.
Right.
You got to return them. So there's a list of names in that inner flap of all the people.
They're going to reuse those books.
Yeah. They're
until a new volume comes out.
They're going to reuse them and you're going to have to pay for them.
I thought you were going to like drop it on me where, you're dating somebody and it's all good. And you guys go out to the restaurant for your favorite meal. And the way home, she breaks up with you. And you're like, wait, what?
Most Christmas movies start with a scene of a couple breaking up in a restaurant.
Do they really?
Yeah, like they don't even get to the meal doesn't come. They don't wait till the ride home because then that's just like prolonging it. So, and it's usually a really successful woman who's like, she's whatever. She's might be a little cynical about Christmas, but she's, having it's always a fancy meal. It's got to be in a fancy place. And then the guy's like, yeah, so I was thinking that we should see other people. It's like, what? You're breaking up with me? Yeah. And that's how the movie starts. And then, they can't in Hallmark. It's very interesting because they can't make like exes bad. Do you know what I mean? Like exes can never do anything really offensive, but like, what they can do
adultery or something like that.
Right. But what they can do is make them just like, we're not the right fit. And that's kind of the so like that person's usually still around in some way, or they're teasing the fact that person is going to come back, but
create tension
sometimes, or it's just like, that's my ex, didn't work out. He wanted something else, and it's always a guy. Anyway,
always the guy.
It's always the guy. I mean, I've noticed a lot like all of the tropes, and all the movie watching, all of the tropes. Like you'll have a single dad, but you'll never have a single dad of a boy.
Interesting. Oh, it's always a young.
It's girl? Always a daughter. It's always a daughter. Yeah, like a single dad. The mom has passed away, and he's raising a daughter. Never a son. And it's very, very strange. And then at some point, the new girlfriend or the potential girlfriend will pick up a picture of the mom and say to the daughter, "That's your mom? She's pretty." Every time.
Wow. That's so messed up.
Yeah, she's pretty. So
I mean, you are the expert when it comes to analyzing these Christmas movies, because do you take a tally on how many Christmas films you've watched over the course of like several years, or do you take a tally every year, or do you track these movies?
Yeah, well, that's why I started doing it, to track them, because
on the Instagram,
right. I started doing it on Instagram. Yeah, really for myself, right, to be like, okay, because I every year, right, would watch a bunch and I'd be like, oh, have I seen this? Yeah, I've seen this, right, or like whatever. And now I can just avoid that entirely because I just go like, okay, blah, 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 yes, and I can tell you like where they fit into the formula, where and yeah, and of course Hallmark is very different than Netflix. Netflix can be a little more edgier. Disney, Amazon, Peacock can be a little,
QVC Plus.
Talking to my buddy Mike, who's the producer over there, about all the things that they got going on. Because I'm like, are you guys doing an original every year now? Like, what's happening?
And are you going to have Paul London in every single one of those things?
Right. I mentioned Paul, and I'm curious. I need to see what his response is. I was talking about Paul's 100-degree pickup day in Santa Clarita.
Yeah. Yeah, for those wondering, those tuning in after we're done recording this, because it's probably everyone's at work right now. We've had a year of unexpected twists and turns with the addition of Paul London to $2 late fee. Territory Marks came to $2 late fee in 2023. And it's been a really pleasant surprise. And we've heard all about Paul's movies he's been working on for Lifetime and now QVC Plus.
Yeah.
And obviously that's right in your wheelhouse, the QVC Plus movie he did, because it's a Christmas movie.
It is, but also, I mean, I love any of those movies, but I think he said he did 5 Christmas movies over the past like 2 years, and it seems like only one of them is. I think only the one is out, because I looked at into the other ones.
Right.
The QVC Plus one is interesting. I'm sure you haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No,
Did you see
it? I haven't. But Kristen, the minute Kristen heard about it, she's like, "Oh, I want to watch that."
And you were like, "No, we only watch my movies. We only watch movies that you hate. These 80s movies and Yellowstone."
Yeah. Oh no, Fargo. Now we're watching Fargo.
Fargo. Okay, that's good.
Brilliant. Everyone needs to watch Fargo.
Yeah, definitely got to watch some Fargo. 'Tis this season, but anyway, so the thing that got me about this, and this is the only thing I'll say, and then we can jump into this, is that he said that his character was basically like a pickup shoot, because he's really only in one scene. But it's weird because that basically is saying that he is an afterthought to the script, because he's kind of put in there as like a red herring, mentioned, and then at some point they must have said, well, we need a scene with this guy.
Yeah.
But that just seems very strange to me. It seems like very strange producing. Let's throw in another scene here for no reason. So I don't know.
For a movie that's what you said, it's like 65 minutes, right? It's short.
No, this one is 84, I think.
Oh,
65 is the original one that they did. The Holly and the Hot Chocolate.
Gotcha.
That was last year's. That was one of my favorite movies of the year.
Because of its runtime or because of the content?
Because of everything. Because it didn't waste any time. There was no bullshit. There's a lot of these fucking movies, and not that you care about any of this, but a lot of these fucking movies, you have these scenes that are like there for the sole purpose of just like giving you like a misunderstanding for no reason, or like, oh, I saw him with his ex-girlfriend, they must be back together, but meanwhile, like she's giving him back like a dish, or it's just like these dumb things where you're like, have a conversation, idiots, have a conversation. Right. Don't just like assume, and that's part of the Hallmark thing of like, so Holly and the Hot Chocolate does not have any of that. Doesn't have any of that.
Right.
It doesn't have time. Well, it's just like, let's just go.
I may check that out one of these days. Look, I watched your movie. I watched your movie that you dubbed because.
But did you see the ending? Did you guys ever see the ending?
No,
or no?
Never.
No. So the ending, right? The ending is what
remind everybody what the
together.
name of the movie is called again.
It's called Christmas as Usual.
It's on Netflix.
Thank you for not remembering. And it is.
No,
on
I wanted
Netflix.
you to say it.
And, no, I don't care either way. It's on, and that's a Norwegian Christmas movie that is very, very racist from start to finish, but then the movie ends and it leaves you with a couple of things. It leaves you with this sort of open-ended feeling that there might be a sequel, filming The Wedding in India, which help us all. But also just one of those movies where you never feel redemption. You never feel like I like any of these characters. So that's the problem.
Yeah, it was hard to like any of the characters, and other than the fact that you voiced one of them, and that was very enjoyable. That was the highlight, obviously.
But
that was the highlight.
But voicing just like a total fucking D-bag, like.
Right.
He's just saying things that you're just like, like, you guys hear that? No, what? You hear that? Oh, it's just dad rolling over in his grave. You're like, oh my God, because we didn't have meatballs on Tiny Tiny Christmas. Anyway,
Hey, people forget that at one point in Bradley Cooper's career, he played a jerk in The Wedding Crashers. He was like an ultimate jerk, I believe, in that. Or was that the movie? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's played a
yeah.
jerk in his life.
His name was like Trip or something like that.
No, it was Zach, actually.
His name was Zach.
Yeah.
Is there not a character named Trip?
There might be. I just remember, obviously, that's why I remember that name, because
it's Trip. I mean, look, Bradley Cooper's been acting for 30 years, you know?
Right.
But the purpose of today is not to talk about Christmas movies.
No. We save that for another day.
Is it Zach or is it like Sack or something? It's like something, isn't it weird? Don't they call him
I think
Sack?
it's Zach. I think it's like and I remember staying for the credits because, you know, guys, I do that. We talked about that in our upcoming interview with Vince DiCola. But
no, dude, his name is Sack.
It's Sack?
It's Sack Lodge. Yes, it's SACK. Yeah, because it was something dumb. I remember. Yeah, it's not. They do a real good job of they wanted to give him that was one that I saw in the theater too. It's weird.
Me too.
Yeah, no, because they wanted to give him like a fucking name that's kind of like a white, you know, privileged, stupid name. Which
is it short for something? I'm sure it's short for something like Sackman or something.
I don't even know if that's addressed.
I don't remember it being addressed in the movie, but
right, you thought it was Zach this whole time. Yeah. But I'm sorry to tell you,
as the song said, it's been a while.
Anyways. hold on. Let's go into it for a minute. Zachary Sack Lodge is
his name is Zach.
No, but it's Sack. But it's Sack.
Yeah. His middle name is Sack. It's ridiculous. That's
no, it's his nickname. It's his, but everyone calls him Sack. Probably because he's a ball sack.
Yeah.
Is what I'm guessing.
Wow.
What can we right. So there you go. So I mean, it's like, you know, it's like correct sort of on both sides. Yeah. But no one calls him. And now there's all these Reddit threads. I thought the name of Bradley Cooper's character is Sack. Or no. Today I learned that the name is Sack. I always thought it was Zach, but mispronounced for humorous purposes. And does anyone else? No, it's just that his friends call him Sack.
Okay.
So everyone calls him Sack.
Okay.
Need to go back and watch that. We'll have to cover that movie.
No, never.
For no reason.
Apparently going into 2024, we already have a few movies potentially lined up to cover because we are dropping the Vince DiCola interview right before on New Year's Eve. And we talk so much about Transformers in that episode. I'm like, well, we got to cover Transformers, the movie, because we haven't yet. So we will get to that in 2024. But first up, we'll be covering Weird Science in 2024.
Weird Science.
In February.
Right.
But
Weird Science.
We're here to thank all the patrons for all their support, keeping our show doors open. The lights to our neon.
Yes, patrons. Now, normally at the end of every month, we have a live pop culture trivia or something, but we wanted to do a little end of the year thank you to you spontaneously. So we don't have any costumes or music prepared, but
no.
Yeah, we did just want to thank you guys. Whether you are whether you've been grandfathered in since the beginning to the you want your $2 tier, which is a tier we don't offer anymore. But that was named after, you know, Johnny the Paperboy and the $2 late fee show. Or you're a best of the best tier person. You pay, you know, $5, or excuse me. Oh, I've already messed up our tiers. You're a real genius at $5. We really appreciate you. And the best of the best tier, the $15 tier. This is not a telethon. This is just to say that any support you have been giving us has been so appreciated. But if you are at the highest tier, everybody there is getting a special mix CD every 6 months. So something to think about and consider.
I put out, well, the ones who've been in that tier for the longest, I think, are our mutual parents, my mom and your mom and dad.
Right.
And they've gotten quite a few of the mixes. And then we've got a few other patrons at that tier. Well, when we shout out all the names, obviously they know who they are, but there's a lot of music in store because gosh, we've covered so many movies and so many songs from these movies, and all those songs are in those CDs. So you know what you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, do you want to start with the top of the list?
Well, yeah. So I guess, I mean, in order of, I mean, I guess let's start it off with our $2
Okay.
patrons. And hopefully I can read this, but thank you to James Turner. You've been a patron a long time and we appreciate it. Thank you to Michael McAtave.
Yeah.
And thank you to the Coast Office, Daniel Garcia, and thank you to your old friend Terry Chapman, who rounds out that grandfather tier.
He gave me some amazing Christmas gifts this year.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. I opened up this Christmas card and it's got Chris Knight from Real Genius on it. And it says, "I wish you a Merry Chris Knight."
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Did he make it?
And then a rad, what's that?
Did he make it?
No, I'm sure I maybe found on Etsy. Etsy has these great, if you anything 80s related is on Etsy. A rad Christmas ornament ball. So it's a red ball, but it's got the rad crew number on it and the stars, the blue stars. And amongst other things, but those were the two standouts. A Warriors poster of all of the subway, the subway line of New York, but it shows all the places where the Warriors go, and there's quotes all over it, and it's very cool.
Oh, that's fun. So, so you're saying like it starts, well, I guess it ends in Coney Island, right?
It starts in Coney, obviously ends in Coney, but along the way, it's got all the gangs listed. It's got all the quotes from the movie, and I feel like I want to share it with everybody.
It's a subway map.
Yeah, it's a subway map.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Do you see the Warriors on there too?
Yeah. So like there's quotes from the movie at each stop along the way. It tracks the Warriors trek across New York, and each stop along the way is where the gangs that they run into and some of the lines from the gangs as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Really, really cool.
Yeah. Terry's besides being an amazing friend, he's just a flat out thoughtful person. So, and everybody who is in that tier, obviously, it means so much to us that you guys have been a part of our family for so long. And I hope at some point down the road, we can have you on our show to some degree if we haven't already. And if we've had you on already, we're going to have you back.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, but that is a very select crew in the $2 tier, because again, it doesn't exist anymore, and it's just a special little area of our Patreon.
And the next tier is the
that no one can get into,
the Real Genius tier. Who are Real Geniuses?
Would you like to say them? Do you have them?
No, I'd rather have you do it because I'm a little confused by all the.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. So, okay. So our next tier is our $5 tier, and that is called the Real Genius tier.
We got a lot in here.
We got a ton. It's where everyone hangs out. It's our most popular tier for a reason. So huge thanks to Lee Germani. Obviously Lee, Lee is a fucking rock star. He almost got fired taking part in our fundraiser this year. That's the story I'm telling. It's not really true. He didn't get fired, but he was filming, and he, you know, he was filming, and he was also bidding, and he was winning, and he was, anyway. But we love Lee. David Ullman, of course, our he's been on the show supporting us. Brother from another mother, Sleazy C, the great Sleazy C, Corey Stevenson, Magdalena Saucedo, who we got to meet this year at LA Comic-Con. Totally rad. And speaking of rad, Sam Bernard, the writer of Rad, is one of our patrons. Thank you. David Irons from across the pond, we give you huge thanks. Jeff T. Hall, our buddy from Parental Advisory Movie Podcast, that hopefully is the only time I've said the name of the podcast correctly. Erin Dawn Gilmer, who has branched off to become a podcast entrepreneur. We knew her when she was just a little girl with stars in her eyes, and now Manic Monday Movie Mania. We've both been on it.
Manic Movie Monday.
Manic Movie Monday. Has taken the world by storm. Everyone should check that out. John Lyons Murphy, my good buddy. Thank you, John, for always supporting us since day one. Robert Ortiz, the real genius master. Thank you. And Peter Holden, who may or may not be an actual active patron. We're not sure. We're going to figure that one out. But thank you, Peter.
He found us. He found us through the our Wraith episode, and he was hooked. The minute he heard our Wraith episode, he's like, "Wow, I stumbled upon you guys." We get that a lot. I stumbled upon you.
Guys.
Thanks for stumbling upon us, and thank you guys. You're all so special. And I was thinking we need to have Sam and potentially like Sam in the studio with Crew himself. They're still good buddies. So,
right. Is potentially like when you combine like pretension and potential, and like you're going to be pretentious, but we'll potentially have you.
Yeah, it could potentially could be. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Who are our top best of the best tier?
Okay, our best of the best. Our best of the best. We love you guys so much. You are the heart, the beating heart of $2 late fee. We can't really thank you enough. We have stand by here. I'm just gonna this, and I want to say too that our patrons are from all over the world, really, which is really cool. And in this tier, we've gone international. It's really, really great. A huge thank you to Sylvia. Sylvia, I know came in via the territory marks. She gets very offended when I call anything wrestling boring. And I'm sorry, Sylvia. I'm working on it. I'm in a lot of therapy. But we appreciate you, and you've been just a huge supporter there all the time. Whenever we've looked out, there you are. Thank you. And of course, our friend Paulette, who also came through the Paul London window that we opened. Paulette, huge wrestling fan. We've seen her down at Compton Mania. That's something we should do, like a field trip, a patron field trip. To anyone who's around, going down to the next Compton Mania, because that's super fun.
Apparently they're moving, potentially moving to a new location in 2024, to a bigger spot. So stay tuned. And I'm talking to Deshaun, who's the brains behind the organization, about doing some stuff in 2024 with Compton Mania. So stay tuned.
Well, the few friends that I have, that sounded strange. Friends that I have that have seen that I've been down there, that got word that I was down there, are like, I want to know what this is. I want to go to it. So already, when the next event is announced, we've got some people that want to come along.
Yeah, it's super fan friendly, and it's super family friendly too. They're all about bringing in a good audience. They have a pretty wholesome show for the most part, and more in 2024.
Very nice, very nice. So that's Paulette. Thank you, Paulette. New to the squad. We welcome him with open arms. Dylan Laurie, who
he's the best.
Who's just very, very active with the show, with us, with talking to stuff, sending us stuff. It's great. We really appreciate you, Dylan.
He's sending Christmas gifts to me. He sent. Well, sorry, Dustin. He sent me a gift. Oops, sorry. We could share it. We could share it. We could share it.
What? I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I was
and then
I was like, could I flip my desk? Could I physically flip my desk? I don't think I could, but or like pretend like I was going to, but I can't even. I can't even sell that. Sell that? That's a wrestling term?
Oh,
sell
nice.
It.
Look at you. Look at you.
Can't sell
Selling it.
Is that the right context? Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're selling it or you're kayfabing it or whatever.
Wow. Look at you. What's going on?
Well, you're right. So that's above and beyond. So Dylan, you should be in another tier because you're getting Zach gifts for his family. Do you want to share what it is, or is it?
Yeah, it was a Flash Gordon and Ming the Merciless action figures.
Wow.
In the Flash Gordon, the box it comes in is the logo from the Flash Gordon movie. The Queen soundtrack logo. So it's all yellow with a cool lightning bolt in the middle.
Okay.
And then you open it up, it's got Flash versus Ming. It's very epic. Very epic.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Dylan. And of course, we owe the ultimate thanks to the people responsible for us even being alive and being able to be in the world. Our parents, Zach's mom, Carol McKee, horticulture girl.
Yeah.
Did I say your name? Did I say
horticulture girl?
Horticulture, not horticultural. Horticulture girl. Your mom and I have bonded this season over Christmas movies. We've shared them back and forth. We have, there's been, some recommendations and some non-recommendations, right? Like stay away from that.
It's only fair because I've made my way into your family. I'm pretty much kicked the door down saying to your folks, I'm your son now. Welcome. Happy to be here.
We're happy to be here. No, and your mom has welcomed me into the fold, and certainly I don't think I realized how into Christmas movies she is. Like myself, like
she loves movies and she loves those kind of movies.
She does not like the Murderville Who Killed Santa. She watched it twice for some reason, I guess to prove to herself that it was bad.
She does it. She watches movies over and over again.
Yeah.
I wonder who I got that from.
She was like, I hate this movie. And then I was like, okay, well, I was just trying to explain that, like, because Murderville, the Who Killed Santa, has a lot of inside jokes from Smartless. Because it's Will Arnett. It's like an improv. It's an improvised
it's his show. Yeah.
Thing, Murderville. Yeah. So it's not really a traditional Christmas movie. But it's got Will Arnett. It's got Jason Bateman, in there too. And of course, Sean Hayes is guesting in there. So it's a lot of like inside stuff. If you know those guys, you kind of know what's going on. But it's still not like, this isn't written in a formulaic Christmas movie way. It's just kind of like whatever. So I was just saying, to your mom, I was like, right. But it's a different, you judge it differently because of the style. And then I guess you watched it again and was like, I still hate it. I was like, well, I didn't tell you you don't have to watch it again. But
not her cup of tea.
No. And I'm like, I don't, like if you're watching an improvised anything. Murderville as a show is, I don't know if you've seen it, like that's what it is. It's the whole premise is that someone comes on into the show and has no idea what's going on. It's very funny.
I've never watched it. I want to watch it.
There's some stronger than others. And finally, very special thanks to my folks, Jeff and Elise Rubin, who are also Zach's folks and have been supporting us since the inception of the Patreon. And
which has been what, a year and a half now we've been doing that? 2 years?
That's a a great question. I think we started this, and it should be able to tell us, easy. But I don't know.
It's been a while.
June something. June. No, we were doing it 2021, maybe June 2021. June 2021.
Wow.
Yep, that's when we started. So those, many folks have been there since the beginning.
Thank you, everybody.
It's amazing. And if this is a reminder that you were part of the Patreon and you didn't mean to be, just cancel gently. Like if
and then leave us a comment of why you did, because we're I gotta tell you, y'all patrons know we put a lot of fun stuff on our Patreon versus just the typical, oh, here's our unedited show you can listen to, or your ad-free show.
Yeah, right.
That's all cool.
Right,
that's all good. But between this one and Podcasting After Dark's Patreon that I do, we put out some quality content, and you guys know that we really care about our fans and our friends and our listeners and our family. So we're trying to give you simply the best. And then coming in 2024, we're talking about bringing 80s Kids Unite to the regular feed,
right?
From our Comic-Con appearance that we did earlier in December, the beginning of this month. A lot of fun stuff planned with that. Paul and I want to talk to Dustin as well. Maybe we'll throw in some Territory Marks type content for the Patreon, because wrestling fans love that stuff. Obviously Sylvia and Paulette, but I'm sure there's more out there too. So lots more coming. And we're always open to vamping up the ideas. Tales from Video Store is like a staple at this point. We have Derek Wayne Johnson this month, and listening back, editing that interview was really fun. So more discussions about Video Store days is always good stuff. And obviously that's not going anywhere, but these things evolve, these things change. So stay tuned, but we always want to keep it fresh for you guys. So thank you so much.
Yeah, keep it fresh. And we want you to be involved as much as you want to be involved. I think when we started this, we were like, hey guys, come on guest. And everybody's like, I don't really want to do that. It was like, that's totally fine. And listen, we're not going to force you to do any of that. We just, it's like, if you want to interact with us on a show, come on, just by all means, you can do that. Lately, the pop culture trivia is becoming more of a inter-show battle by which we can play on your behalf, and you guys can win stuff that way.
That seems to be pretty popular. I think, right now.
Yes. Everyone has been very responsive to that. So that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to wrap up the initial show in next year, the initial trivia battle. We're going to have one final battle with everybody. And
previous contestants.
Yeah. People who said like, what does Dustin know? Who challenged me and won? They moved on to another round. Then they're all going to be challenging each other. It's going to be fantastic.
And then we'll be the ones running the show. So.
Right. So
before we wrap up, so something came in the mail. I got Dustin a present, and I was like, oh, I really want to give this to him before he goes off on his trip. Before the end of the year. It didn't happen because it came in the mail yesterday. I was thinking about opening it up on live here on the show to get your reaction.
Yeah, please do.
Are you open to that? Okay.
I'm open.
Really quick.
Amazing.
Here we go. I'm just going to open up. And obviously, when he sees it in person, it's going to have a whole other reaction. But
feel the weight of it.
Right. There was a previous episode where we actually discussed this, and I said, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. And it is, in fact, holy cow, it looks better in person than I thought it would.
Is this the Rocky IV? Oh my God, dude, that's amazing. It's a size medium, and I'm hoping it's form fitting. That is so good.
So instead of the Adidas logo, it's Rocky.
That's fucking funny, dude.
But
that's
it is
so good.
In fact signed by Sylvester Stallone.
What?
It is a look at that.
Oh my God.
I'm reversed right now. Sorry, guys.
No, I see it. I see it not reversed. So
okay, cool.
You might be seeing
the whole glory.
Reversed. Yes. That is so good. That is so good.
So Merry Christmas.
I can't thank you enough. That's incredible.
It looks like it's like actually a little like fitted, which It's very nice
Right.
material.
So, it's more motivation for me to get in the gym harder, heal up all my injuries and
Oh,
go hard.
it's 100% cotton. So make sure you
Wow.
wash it cold and hang
Right.
dry.
Do not throw that in the dryer. Well, thank you, sir. That is so fucking kind.
You're welcome.
Sorry, kids at home who are watching this. Sorry, Bodie. For
I know he's
cursing.
so disappointed. I want that. Well, go wash the robot.
Oh, I just meant sorry for cursing.
Oh.
Not like I get it and he doesn't. If he was watching this, I would use language.
He very well could be.
That's amazing gift. An amazing recall.
I hold on to things.
That was, yeah. I mean, that Rocky IV, which we covered, I was like going through them. Like all of his sweaters are so good. It's just so amazing. So,
Well,
to
Merry
be able
Christmas.
to. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That's
And
incredible.
Happy New Year. And Merry
That's
Christmas
incredible.
to everybody. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Diwali, all the holidays. We cover it all. Happy pagan holidays. Happy non-holidays. If you just celebrate your birthday this month.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these that we're mentioning like aren't even in December, so that seems a little strange.
No. But I think Kwanzaa starts today, right? The 28th, I believe.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Or is it 26? It's one of those numbers. Anyways.
But Diwali was months ago.
It was, yeah, because it goes on the lunar calendar, right?
Right.
Oh, but I want to say, because going into 2024, it's the year of the dragon.
Oh.
And which is my year. So I'm wondering if we need to cover The Last Dragon for Martial Art Madness or something.
Only dragon movies.
Maybe we get Shannon Lee, Bruce Lee's daughter, on the show to talk about her father's legacy. I don't know. We got a lot in store. Yeah. Martial Art Madness, all that good stuff.
That's awesome.
Anyways, thank you guys so much.
Very cool. Thank you, everybody. We've gone over our allotted time, so the advertisers are pissed. But
oh my gosh, 37 minutes. Okay.
But
enjoy Vince Nicola and Kenny Meredith this weekend.
Right, this Sunday. Tell your friends. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.